You're listening to the Doctor Is In podcast, brought to you by martinclinic.com. During the episode, the doctors share a lot of information. As awesome as the info may be, it is not intended to diagnose, cure, treat, or prevent any disease. It's strictly for informational purposes.
Well, good morning, everyone. Just want to do a little bit of teaching this morning on something that is very common, and that is that millions and millions of people take aspirin every day as a prevention for heart disease and stroke. And I just want to tell you that first of all, is a myth. Now, anybody that's followed the Martin Clinic for any period of time, we have been consistent on this, and that is exactly what the American Heart Association is saying now, and the American College of Cardiology. And they, on the heels of 3 studies that came out with the New England Journal of Medicine, is that like aspirin is not the panacea that it was thought to be. And actually, the American Heart Association and they've come down hard on aspirin. And the reason is because the risks outweigh the benefits. So people were taking aspirin like it was a vitamin, right? Like people thought that aspirin was, there was no side effects. It was just good for you. And now I'm telling you, and you have to understand, low dose aspirin is billions and billions of dollar industry. So you can imagine for the American Heart Association, for the Cardiology Association to come down hard. And they came down very hard because all these studies were showing that, if you're having a stroke, I agree, get an aspirin as fast as you can. But you don't want to be taking aspirin every day to prevent a stroke because it doesn't do what it says it does. As a matter of fact, all of the side effects outweigh the benefits. And aspirin, again, is synthetic. I know it comes from willow bark, and that is natural, but they have to synthesize it, and it becomes synthetic. And that is where the danger comes in when you take aspirin every day. It's just not a vitamin. It's not. And a lot of people still today, they come into the office and they're taking aspirin. But let me talk about some of the side effects of aspirin on a daily basis. Well, one of them is absolutely dangerous, and that is a silent bleeding. And it can kill you. You get an injury, you hit your head, you're on aspirin, you can bleed out. It thins your blood. And that's all right if you're having a stroke. But if you're taking it on a daily basis, people don't realize that they can have silent bleeding, even in the brain. And then one of the most common one is it creates ulcers. And you bleed out. It can be super dangerous. The other thing that it does, it suppresses your immune system. So taking aspirin suppresses your immune system. One of the biggest factors in people in older age of getting asthma and getting lung disorders is because of taking aspirin. Here's another one, tinnitus. Tinnitus is that buzzing in the ear, and deafness. Aspirin can lead to tinnitus, which is very disabling in terms of quality of life, of getting that buzzing all the time. And it can lead to, it's very common that people are deaf after taking aspirin for several years. Crohn's disease, autoimmune diseases, digestive problems, IBS, and I find it can be a factor in diverticulosis, which is our little pouches, because the aspirin destroys, we've talked about this in the past, that aspirin, like any other over-the-counter medications, I think I did a one last week on OTC, over-the-counter, like Advil and Tylenol and aspirin. They're all, like aspirin is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, and the problem is that it kills your friendly bacteria. It can change the microbiome in your gut. So it's not a vitamin. It's a myth. It's a myth. I was always uptight that people were taking aspirin on a daily basis. Because if you want to get to the root of heart disease or stroke is not the fact that you have a lack of aspirin. It doesn't come from that, right? Look, if you want to thin your blood naturally, drink water. Drink water. Your blood goes through thousands of miles of blood vessels in your body. You want to thin your blood out, don't get dehydrated. A lot of people, millions and millions of people are dehydrated every day. Oh, doc, I don't like water. I know, but the life of the flesh is in the blood. Your life goes through your blood vessels, through your blood, and to keep that flowing, drink water. Yeah. You don't have to take aspirin. Just drink 2 liters of water or 64 ounces of water every day. So this is key. And then, okay, so that's one. Okay, like in terms of dehydration is a big factor. I'm telling you on how hard it is on your heart. Here's another one. Inflammation. Yeah, inflammation. Now, inflammation doesn't come out of nowhere. I love what Tony Jr. has to say. Doc Jr. says, it didn't come out of nowhere. It didn't just presto, you have inflammation. But when you have a bad diet with high levels of insulin, when you're eating crappy carbohydrates, you're creating a lot of inflammation because elevated insulin, high circulating insulin over a long period of time causes inflammation. And what inflammation does within the blood vessels, it destroys your blood vessels. It weakens your blood vessels. It ain't cholesterol. That's another myth. It ain't cholesterol. Blaming cholesterol for heart disease is like blaming the police or the firemen. They're at the scene. Yeah, of course they're at the scene. But they're not the bad guy. The bad guy is the inflammation that was caused by elevated insulin, high circulating insulin, high fructose corn syrup that elevates uric acid, elevates inflammation. And here's crappy vegetable oils. Yeah, go in the middle aisles of your grocery stores, anything that's packaged. The reason it lasts for a long period of time, food lasts for a long period of time without refrigeration, is due to packaging with high omega-6 vegetable oils. Yeah, they preserve the canola oils and those culprits and the peanut oils and all that. They package your goods and they're industrialized oils. They were never meant for your body. Your body loves coconut oil. Your body loves olive oil. Your body loves butter. Your body loves all these things. Those are your good oils that are actually lubricate your blood vessels. What damages your blood vessels are the bad ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. We need fat for your blood vessels to be healthy. That is why Eskimos don't get heart disease. They eat nothing but blubber. They eat nothing but fish and seal and organ meat and blubber. They, the muscle, they throw to their dogs. They want the fat. And Eskimos don't get heart disease. Yeah, they die because the polar bears eat them. But they don't die like we die. They die from infection when they don't have antibiotics like we have. Okay? So, guys, aspirin isn't the key. Aspirin is a serious, dangerous drug. I'm not against aspirin. If you're having a stroke or a heart attack, If you can get an aspirin into your body quickly, well, then it's a medication, and then it's fine. I don't disagree with that. It can dissolve a clot, but the side effects of taking aspirin on a daily basis is extremely dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. One of the things that I find in the office that I am seeing that is in epidemic-like proportion today is that of H. pylori. You know, the bacterial infection that usually invades your stomach. H. pylori. Why do we see so much of H. pylori today? One of the factors are people taking non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, aspirin. You know, look, you got a headache and you want to take an aspirin. Okay, I get it. You want to take an Advil. I get it. But don't live on it. They're not meant. So get your insulin down. Drink water. I'm telling you, one of the greatest medications is H2O. And only water is water. Coffee's not water. Coffee's good. Okay? Coffee's good, but it isn't water. Only water. Do you know that water takes its own route to your bloodstream? Instantly into your bloodstream. People have headaches on a daily basis and they don't even realize they're dehydrated. And they don't drink enough. I don't want to drink water. Like I might have to go to the bathroom. I might have to pee. You know, I talk to a lot of women and men, men with prostate. Oh, I don't want to drink water because I got to go for a pee all the time. Well, go for a pee. But listen, water is, your body needs water. You can't live without it. And a lot of people, they drink everything else but water. They drink juice and they drink, look, coffee's good. You know me, I love coffee. Coffee's actually a powerful antioxidant, good for your heart. Here's another factor in heart disease. Another factor in heart disease is a lack of vitamin D. The sun, another myth. Oh, the sun, I can't go out in the sun, I might get cancer. Oh, you need vitamin D to have healthy blood vessels. You need vitamin D to have a healthy heart. Yes. So if you can't get in the sun, to all my Canadian friends back home, you need to take vitamin D. It's good for your heart. It's good for your immune system. It's good for almost everything. Every cell in your body has a receptor for vitamin D. So guys, look, here's a myth. Aspirin should be, a low dose aspirin should be taken on a daily basis. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you've had a heart attack, maybe, okay, you weigh the risk with the benefits of taking it. And you can talk to your doctor about that. But you know what? It bothers me because the people think that these things are without any side effect, and the side effects are legion. Let me finish with this. A couple of things that I recommend. You have any kind of heart problems. Two things I really look. I talked to you about omega-3. I love omega-3. I love fish oil. Fish oil is tremendous. Here's another one, Navitol. Pine bark. Pine bark. There was a study back in the early 90s. Never got a lot of ink, but it was done by Dr. Watson at the University of, I think it was Brigham Young University. Here's what he said. Here's what his study did. He compared aspirin to pine bark extract, Navitol. And he found that the Navitol pine bark extract was every bit as effective without the side effects. So I've been taking Navitol for years and years and years and years. And the other one that I like is, so I love omega-3. Get your omega-3 levels to be just about equal with omega-6. Okay, because that's important that you do that. And you get that by healthy fat, grass-fed beef, fish, omega-3. I take capsules of omega-3 every day. Navitol, the pine bark, is a tremendous anti-inflammatory, anti-free radical damage, and antioxidant. And then the third one is turmeric. And I love turmeric, especially when you put it with Navitol and the omega-3. So good for protecting your blood vessels against stroke, and protecting your heart. Okay? So love you guys. Share this with your friends. Talk to you soon.
You've reached the end of another Doctor is In podcast with your hosts, Dr. Martin Jr. and Sr. Be sure to catch our next episode, and thanks for listening.